Hi, today I'm gonna do chapter 1 JavaScript. But first we do the addition, which is 1. I'm gonna start with 1 plus 1, and then the answer is 2. You can add any other number. 3 plus 4, and then you get the answer. Add any other number. Then we go to, okay, it also does multiplication. Maybe we say 4 times 6. You get the answer. Maybe we say 10 divided by 2. We get the answer. Now we gonna do the structure of a JavaScript program. This is a comment, says draw as many cats as you want. When we're gonna use Visual Studio, we're not gonna use var, we'll use let. So var draw cats equals to function how many times. Also, I'm keeping track of the camel casing, starting with a small letter and then going to once you have so we have this code. It says var draw cats equals to function how many times. For let I equals to 0. For if I is less than how many times I plus plus. So in this case we have 10. We must draw 10 cats. Then now console.log, it's gonna print out the number of cats that we chose. You can choose any other number. It can be a 12, it can be a 10, it can be a 20, depends on what you want. See, now it drew 10 cats. But if we come and also run this and then say 20 cats, it's gonna show us 20 cats, as long as it's the number it starts with. You see that it ends at 19 because it started at 0. Okay. Then you go to the syntax, to the comments. So this, let me just clear this on top. So this is a comment. Once you do something like this, whatever you write in here, it's not gonna print out. It's just a comment. You make your notes when you want to keep track of what you're doing. You make your notes, and this is not gonna print out. So now we're gonna go to chapter. I don't know if I should start with 5 or 2. Okay, let me just do chapter 2 and then I'll go to chapter 5, because we did chapter 1 in 5 and then we went to 2. With chapter 2 I have to go to VS Code. Okay, I've done a little bit of it on VS Code of chapter 2. I commented out a lot of things because I didn't want them to run on the code while I was doing the others. Now we have to minimize the screen and then put this here so that you can use both of them. Yeah, like this. I'll see. On chapter 2, we are basically data types and variables. So we have the string data type, and the boolean and the integer. The integers are the numbers. I'm just gonna go and comment out the code at the end. Just commented out everything here. The code on this book and the code that I will be doing will be a little bit different because of the var and the let and any other keyword that we're using. Okay, in JavaScript there are three basic types of data. We have numbers, strings, and booleans. Numbers are used for presenting whole numbers. For example, your age, your height. Okay, so those are the numbers. Now, this is a string and true or false is a boolean. So whenever we do a string, it should come with the inverted commas all the time. A string comes in them all the time. But then when you are doing a boolean or a number, you don't have to put them. So now let's not let's move the comments on this code and all of it. Okay. We're just gonna run it because it's just addition of our numbers and multiplication and division. Let me do multiplication here so that we have all. And then just when you reveal in File Explorer and then go to chapter 2, it's gonna go to our browser and then you right click, inspect. Oh, I made a mistake here. There's an L, otherwise the code is gonna run properly. And then right click and inspect the code. Go to console and then all the answers are here. Our division, our addition, and our, let's see, divide before getting it. Okay. Now we go to, there are three different ways to look at each data type. For example, you can multiply two numbers, but you can't multiply two strings. Yes. With a string, you can ask for the first 5 characters. With booleans, you can check and see whether two values are both true. The following code example illustrates these possible operations. So I'm gonna do this later. The dot slice, it teaches us how to get a certain word or a certain character from a sentence. Numbers and operators. This is what I was doing. I was adding numbers, and then we use the class to add. We use this minus to minus, and we use an asterisk to multiply. Also use a forward slash for division. And maybe you have division and multiplication and addition. in the same equation. So it's tricky because the JavaScript will not go. Um, JavaScript will just start as where it is given. It's gonna add, multiply, subtract, and then divide as it is. So for you to first get what you want first, you have to put it in brackets. Then JavaScript is gonna add or multiply whatever that you put in the brackets first, and then go to the other ones, to the other equations. Okay, here we can comment out this one. So you use the let keyword to create a variable. Here Nick is just a variable, an empty one. If you print, it's gonna show you this. There's nothing in Nick, nothing at all. You can run it and show that there's nothing in the variable Nick. Okay, now it's printing out the age that I printed in. So it's gonna show us the age and because there's nothing to show in Nick. Let's remove this. It's undefined. If we can say let Nick, then we maybe we say let Nick equals to 5 or 6. When we run this, it's gonna give us the value of Nick. I've seen what I did there. Now Nick is 6, and then the other numbers are showing here, the numbers that I was adding on the previous code. Now Nick is 6. For example, we want to print the word Nick. I think we have to put this here. Now go to the console. It's gonna show us the word Nick. Okay. Instead of printing the values in Nick, it's gonna, even if we still have this and still print Nick in inverted commas, it shows we are asking for the 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 word Nick, not the values in Nick, in the variable Nick. Okay, and now let me just remove this and go back to JavaScript. Yeah, and I've said if we only run this without the console.log on the nick. On nick, it's gonna show us it's undefined because nick has nothing in it. Okay. And here we also ran this code. It says let age equals to 16. When you say console.log, it's gonna, and then we put in age, it's gonna show us there is it's gonna give us 16, and it's also gonna give us 14 like it did here. Let me just show it. See, there's nick, there's 16, there's 14, but there is another way to show. If we don't want to show the age but we want to print the word age, we do as we did first on nick. It's not gonna print out the age, but it's gonna print out the word age. See, it went on and printed the word age. So you have to be specific all the time on what you're asking computer to print. Let's just comment this out since we're done with it. Go to the next code. I usually like deleting everything and starting afresh. Okay, now we are here in the number of siblings. Let me show the whole code here. Nah, I'm not sure of files. Now we have this. It says this time I didn't use var keyword because the variable age already existed. Okay. First, we created a variable called number of siblings and assigned it to the value 1 plus 3, which JavaScript will work out to be 4. Then we create a variable number of candies and assign it to 8. Finally, we write number of candies divided by number of siblings, because number of candies is 8 and number of siblings 4. JavaScript is gonna give us 2. So it's like this. You have a number of siblings, which is 1 plus 3, gives us 4, and number of candies. And you want to divide number of candies by the number of siblings to see how many candies is each sibling gonna get. So here we don't use the var keyword, we use the let. So we say let number of siblings equals to 1 plus 3, which is gonna give us, it's automatically 4. And then number of candies, which is 8, and then we do our console.log and divide number of candies by the number of siblings, which is gonna give us a 2 at the end of the day if we run it, because it's 8 divided by 4, which is 2. Okay, just gonna comment this out. And then go to the next one. Says naming variables. Be careful with your variable names, because yeah, with JavaScript is case sensitive. This is not the same as this. It's two different things, because the other one has a capital letter and the other one has a small letter. And if you are to use a capital letter at first and then use a small letter to try to access the values in the one with the capital letter, you can't, because it's not the same. Also, we do make use of camel casing. Maybe we have my name and surname. We have Ruvimbo, Moped, this one. So we start with a small letter, and then for each new word, we go with a capital letter. Even if the way other words that we want them to be in the same line, we'll have to do capital letters whenever a new word comes on. So here, var seconds in a minute is 60 minutes in an hour. For us to get seconds in an hour, we have to divide seconds, to multiply seconds in a minute with minutes in an hour, and then it gives us 3,600. And then seconds in a day as well, and seconds in a year. Now incrementing and decrementing. We're here now. Says let high fives equals to 0. High 5 plus high fives, it basically means you're adding a 1 to the high fives. And then here we go console.log high fives. It's gonna give us a 1. And then minus high fives, and then console.log high fives is gonna give us a 0. But then let's do it with a 6 to clarify what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry. See, it's 6 and it's 7. The first 7 we get it from already the high fives were 6. So when we say plus high fives, it automatically becomes a 7. Adds a 1 to that 6, and then we went on and we said minus high fives, and then it gave us a 6 because we minus the 1 from the 7. Yeah, that's how I get it. And then let's try using the plus after the high fives and see what the post increment and decrement. This one is a pre. Yes, the first one we did was a pre increment and a decrement. Let's run this code and see what it's gonna give us. At first it gave us a 0 and then it gave us a 1. Why? Because it first prints the original number and then it goes on to print the one that we added already. So um, yeah, so it returned the original one before increment and then after increment. This is how the plus at front works. Maybe you want to see what the number was before we added another number, then you can use a plus plus, the post plus plus. And then now we are doing the plus equals and equals minus equals. Okay, so for example we have 10 x equals to 10 and then we want to give a new value to 10. We say x equals to x plus 5, which basically means we're saying x equals to 10 plus 5 because 10 or x already is a 10 on its own. When we print this, we print an x, we want to know what the value of x is now. It's gonna give us a 15 because the x was already a 10. So now we're just giving it a new value, which is gonna be 15. See, our 10 is equals to a 15 now. But we can use the plus minus and the minus, the plus equals and the minus equals for things to be easier to for us. For example, here with an x we will say x plus equals 5. Then we print out an x. Let's comment out this and then run it. It's also going to show us this example of the following one, since I didn't comment it. It's 15, the same number that we got from using x equals to x plus 5. Already JavaScript knows that when we say x plus equals 5, it's the same as x equals x plus 5. And then it's the same thing when you multiply, when you divide and you subtract. It's just the same thing. You say minus equals, times equals, divide equals, and then you just get the same value as we got from the addition. Now we are going to do strings. Okay. Let my awesome string equals something really awesome. Let's go. Now if you want to print out this, we say console.log I'm sorry, dot log my awesome string, then it's gonna give us this something really awesome. So we can just use this to print out this, because already this is the one that is keeping this, unless we have a lot of many other strings in one variable, one string variable. Then we'll learn about that in okay. So here's another thing, we can also use numbers as strings. For example, let my num equals to 5, and then we say now when we add this string number with maybe a variable or another string number, let me do the example and say let num equals to 8. Now I want to add this console.log to show the output is gonna be, oh sorry, this is still a number. I want to put it as a string. Now it's a string. Now it's a string. We're gonna say my num plus num. Show you what we get. We don't get the value of 5 plus 8 because now JavaScript doesn't know that this is a number. JavaScript thinks this is a string. It is a string because we don't put inverted commas on numbers. When we are adding numbers, we basically just add, and that's it, as we did in the beginning. See, it's 58. It just took the number behind and the number in front and then put them together. It didn't add. But then if we were to use 5 and then 8 without the inverted commas, JavaScript would have added a 5 and 8 for us. Joining strings. Okay, now we are here with joining strings. One thing about joining strings, let me say let my name equals to, okay, and then let my surname equals to there, and then now we want to add these strings. Let me show you something. Console.log. Just want to print it once. I don't want to give it a variable. It's fine. My name. My name plus my surname. Just gonna comment this out so that it doesn't get in the way. I made a mistake. Don't know what I did here. I'm gonna comment this out. Okay, this is supposed to be here. Just remove it later on. So now if you add my name and my surname, it's gonna add this and that. It's not gonna give us let me show it here. Let's go to console. You see, no, there is no spacing, nothing. It's just doing camel casing. But there is a way that we can use to okay, we can space here and then we run it. See now there's spacing between my name and my surname. Okay. Finding the length of a string. Here we go. For example, I wanna know how many words are in here. Okay. Console.log. Now I want to run this and find out how many letters we have in the okay, alright. It's a string. Huh? Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I have to remove this and say let me equals now ask for the length of me. Okay, I think I'm doing a mistake here. Let me try again as I keep on making mistakes. No, JavaScript doesn't know. Okay. Finally got it right. So it counts the number of the words we have in the string. I forgot to, yeah. So first, what I've noticed is that we have to declare a variable first, which I had not done, and then after that, we for this one and this it's different because here they're using Chrome to do all this, and I'm using Visual Studio, which is why I'm supposed to use console.log all the time for it to print out. Getting a single character from a string. So we have this name, we have me, and we want to get a single character from, so I can say me, let me say console me 3. This is the third value in all this. Let's confirm if it is 0 1 0 1 2 3. The I is the third one. is number 3, third index. So you can do this with any other number as long as it is a number within the maybe let's do the code word. The one shown here. Let's just remove the var. Are we running it? Now the keyword that we got from the letters is run, and I want to show you how we got this. So code word 1 is R, and code word 2 is tubers, code word 3 is unsafe, and the other one is exclamation mark and a question mark. So on code 1 we want to print the number 1, index number 1, so it's 0 1. This is where we get the R. On code word 2 we want to print index number 1 as well, 0 1, we just get the 0, the U. Code word 3 number 1 as well, 0 1, we get an N. Code word 4 number 1 as well, 0 1, and we get an exclamation mark. This is how it's the console did it. So you want to go to the cutting up strings. We use strings.slice. I wanna use the very same thing here. Let me just remove it. Keep on pressing shift instead of control. Now we have this string and we want to slice it out. So we'll say me dot slice and inspect this. We didn't do the console.log, so it can't print to us. So it's easier when you say console. Now it's gonna print us so with the slice it goes to the start and the end of the slice. So here it's 0 1, this is the end. 2 3 4 5, this is the start. So it's gonna start counting here because it's 0 1. It's gonna start from 2 3 4 5. It's here. So there is one that we're using here. 3. So here they used 14, sorry, not 3. So it's 0 1 2. They start with a 3. And then 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13. This is the end. And we say we end up at we end counting at 13 and then use this one. So the answer would be my long string. For here it's 0 1 2. This is the end, and this is the 0 1 2, and this is the beginning, the 3. But then if we say 0 1 2 3 4 5 6, or maybe we want a 0 0 0 8, say 0 8. See, it gave me the name because this is a 7. This empty space is a 7 and this is a 8. So it stops here. So it prints the number that begins, the number of the character that begins the slice, and we use the number after the last character of the slice. So this is the number. So it's 0, sorry, it's 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the 8 is after the last character. Yep. So let's try saying 0 and see what it's gonna give us. It's gonna give us the whole sentence because you only gave the code this one. So we can also change characters from lowercase to uppercase. I'm just gonna use the same thing. Let me try if I can say me dot to uppercase. See if it's gonna give me. Just wanna see if it's gonna give me the right thing. Let me see. Oh, this is what I was forgetting to do. Let me see if it's gonna run this time. Now I was forgetting the brackets. So now I changed everything to an uppercase. We can also change from uppercase to the lowercase. Um, with the same thing. So maybe this is in uppercase. You go to lowercase and then you put brackets in front and then it changes. Still a string because hello there. You try it with booleans. Um, such just as you can combine numbers with mathematical operators and so on, you can combine boolean values, boolean operators. So we have and, and, or the ampersand. So So we have had shower, which is true, and you want to go to school, and you have to have shower first and have your backpack and then go to school. But if you had shower but don't have a backpack, then you can't go to school. So let's say console. One thing I've realized about the and it doesn't become true when one of the conditions it falls or when one of the conditions is not the same as the other. Let me say head shower. It says backpack. Then we want to see if it's what it's gonna give us. It's gonna give us false because you had shower but you don't have your backpack, so you can't go to school without your backpack. But then if this had shower or had backpack is true, then you're gonna get that true. Let's use the or operator. With the or operator, if one is true, you can say maybe here you had shower. Maybe let's give the fruit example. Had orange, has orange, or has apple. If one of these is true, then it's gonna come out as true because you have an apple or you have an orange. But then if all of them are false, then the answer is gonna be false. And we have the not operator. Uh, mm, so this already means not today. The exclamation mark in the word means not today. So let has apple equals to not today. Okay. Let me just do it with the example that they gave us in a book. It's gonna be easier. Console.log. Okay, so here we have is weekend is true, then need to shower today. No, it says is not weekend. So this is basically the opposite of his weekend, which is gonna come out as false if we run it. Yep, because it's the opposite of his weekend. So it's gonna come out as, so we can combine this and say it's weekend, false, had shower, true, has an apple, false, has an orange, true, and then we say should, we create another variable, say called should go to school. So it's either it's not weekend and had a shower and has an apple or orange, then one can go to school. This is gonna come out as true. console.log. We wanna see the outcome of this, so we have to use console.log. It's true because it's not weekend, and maybe you're at a shower and has orange or apple, so you can go to school. Comparing numbers with booleans. Let's do this using greater than. Here we have height. We have height restriction. Let's see the outcome. Let's see what we get when we inspect this. We got true. Why? Because basically our question is the height greater than the restriction, the height restriction, then it's true. But we can also use the equals. Here it's gonna be false because 65 is not equal to 60. But if we had 60 and 60, but we can also use greater than or equals to the height restriction. So for example, is the example that they gave us, it's a ride and the height restriction is 60, and now if we use a greater than, it means people who are 60, the people who are 60 centimeters tall can't get into the ride. So for the ride to be convenient, we have to use equals or greater than, so that it starts at the restriction rides going up. So we have less than as well. Less than is just the opposite of greater than. So here our height is 60 and our height restriction is 48. So if we say height is greater than, or height restriction is greater than height, let me use the height restriction, height is less than the height restriction, then we're gonna get a false because the height is not less than the 60 is not less than 48. So now we are doing the opposite of the first one. Now we want someone who's 48 going down. So we have to do the 48. If we say 48 going down and then we don't use the less than or equals or less than, Now we no longer gonna get people who are 48 centimeters long. We're only gonna get people who are 47 going down. So for this to be convenient, we have to use the less than or equals the height restriction. Then people who are 48 inches tall can get inside the ride. Now we have the equal to find out numbers are exactly the same. We use the triple equal to. Let me say this. Let me do this. Let's see the answer that we're gonna get here. It's false because our 65 is not equals to 60, but if we had a 60 and a 60, our answer would be true. So we use the triple equals to see if the numbers are the same. The value of the numbers are the same. So we have a single. This one assigns, as we did this, the single one assigned 65 to the height. It tells us that 65 centimeter is the height. And then the double one, let me see where there's a double one. Double equals. Now to confuse things a bit, there's another JavaScript operator, the double equals. That means equalish. Use this to see whether two values are the same, even if it's a string and other one is a number. So we can have a string of 5 and a number of 5. For us to see, so if we use a triple equals on the string 5 and a number 5, we're gonna get a false. But if we use a double, we're gonna get a true, because it's 5 and 5. Then we have undefined and null. So for example, we don't console this. The outcome is gonna be undefined, because there's nothing there. We can also use null when you wanna assign something with nothing. Maybe number of students and you put null instead of 0.